I remember before going into college, one of the biggest decisions I had to make was whether I wanted to live on campus or live back home. Now, if you're in the process right now of, thinking about when am I going to start college? Should I live in an apartment? Should I live on campus? Should I live back home with my parents? This is the video for you. As someone who already went through the whole college thing, the whole 4 years and graduated a year ago, I do believe I have the expertise and the experience to speak about my personal experience as I went through college. Now, living on campus can definitely be a very fun time. You totally get the full college experience. But living back home also has many, many advantages. Me personally, I lived on campus throughout my 4 years of college, except for the time of COVID, of course, where I was back home. So that means I technically also got a taste of what it's like to live at home while being in college. Although there was a lot of COVID restrictions, so it wasn't exactly the full experience. But anyways, by the end of this video, I want you guys to be able to look at the pros and the cons of living on campus, compare it for yourself, and make your own decision. I'm gonna tell you the pros that I felt and the cons that I felt as a on-campus student. First, we're gonna start with the pros, of course. Number one, this is pretty obvious and probably the main reason why you wanna live on campus is you get your own space. So you just finished high school, you've lived with your parents, of course, most of your life, or family members as you were growing up, and now you finally have the opportunity to move away, have your own room, be with your friends, go out whenever you want, come back in whenever you want, do whatever you want with your space, play video games whenever you want, watch whatever you want, play music as loud as you want. So you have all of these things that come with living on campus. And I'm not gonna lie, it can definitely be a very fun time. When you live at home, there's many restrictions or many, curfews that you have to follow. You live with others, so you got to be respectful of them. Your parents might have certain rules. So by living on campus, you can pretty much jump all of this and get that experience of living alone at only 18 years old, where it's not, living in an apartment by yourself somewhere random. You get to live in a residential community with other people who are the same age. There's activities to do. There's, events to go to. There's parties to go to, there's the gym to go to with friends, all right near you. And another very nice thing about living on campus is you get the dining halls right there. Now it depends what college you go to, but where I went, UMass Amherst, the dining halls were great. The food was good, at least for the first 2-3 years. Then I got extremely sick and tired of it and it became disgusting to me. But during the first few years, you got the dining hall right there. And with the dining hall, if you're like me, like going to the gym, you can genuinely eat as much as you want or make whatever diet plan or meal plan you want for yourself. You're always gonna have rice there, you're always gonna have chicken breast, eggs, everything that you need to eat healthy is going to be there. Now the quality of the food, of these ingredients, because they have to produce so much of it, it's like mass produced. Quality of the food may not be great. However, the nutritional value, the protein, the carbs, the fats, the macros are still going to be there. So by living on campus, you can have your own space. You can have the dining hall right across from you. You can make your meal plan. You don't have to, eat your mom's cooking or your dad's cooking and not know how much calories are in this, how much protein is in this. And you can go to the gym, that's also right near you. You can go out and come back in whenever you want. It's all accessible to you. Now, number two, since you have your own space and you're technically living on your own, far away from home, and no one is telling you what to do, you need to be, or you become more responsible with your time. You realize that, hey, my mom's not gonna tell me to get up and do my homework. My dad's not gonna tell me to clean my room. No one's gonna tell me to go to sleep early. So you start to develop these good habits now. You can obviously develop bad habits as well. However, you are put in a situation where you become more responsible for your actions. If you're sleeping late, you're gonna realize very quickly that you're not able to wake up in the morning to go to class. Your grades might suffer. So it pushes you to grow up way quicker. Now, if you decide to move out, live on your own for the first time when you're 24, 25, you might be shocked by life. However, if you go and get that college experience, now you gotta do your own laundry, you gotta clean your room by yourself, you gotta create your daily schedule by yourself and get everything done. So I feel like it makes you develop way quicker and become more responsible. And once you realize that, hey, there's no one here to take care of me, you genuinely feel much more mature and much older. So with these two, man, I think for me, these were the main reasons why I wanted to live on campus and far from home. I wasn't too far from home. It was about 2.5, 3 hours away, which was just far enough for me. Now, going out of state, I don't know, it's up to you. Going out of state makes it, of course you live away from home, you get your own place, but it also makes it difficult to come back home, see your family, see your neighborhood, your friends that you grew up with, that you went to school with, or things like that. You kind of really just separate yourself, which for many people that might be great. You might want a completely new start as you go into college, which I totally understand. For me, going 3 hours away was enough. I was far enough where no one was gonna come pop up on me randomly, but then I could also go home whenever I wanted, pretty much get some home cooked meals, sleep in my bed at home, have my mom do laundry for me here and there. So it was great. It was like the perfect kind of distance. So based on my experience, definitely recommend living off campus and living about 3 to 4 hours away from them. Find that little range that you like. You can live out of state if you want to completely just throw yourself out there and start a new life, which honestly I also recommend. Or you can live at home, and I'm going to tell you 2 reasons why it may be beneficial for you to live at home. And once you hear these reasons, put them in perspective of your life and how you are, and see if this is something that you want. So the first reason why I think it would be beneficial to live at home is you save a ton of money. If your parents don't make you pay rent, then all the dorm costs or the apartment costs that you would pay, the food, the meal plan costs, all of that gets saved, which means you have to take out less student loans, and you also have to pay less, of course, because you only pay for your tuition and your books. Now, depending on the scholarships that you get, the financial aid, they might cover your tuition and books. So then you're left over with nothing. You're kind of going to college for free, which, I mean, you can't knock getting a college degree, graduate with no debt, and pay nothing for it. So if that's what you're thinking about, if you feel like these 4 years are going to go by quick, you just want to get your education out of the way, maybe even finish your degree in 3 years, and then move out with the money that you were able to save living at home, the time that you were able to save living at home that allowed you to get a second job, because as a job I mean while being in school, because your parents could help out with some cooking. They cooked meals a few days a week, and you would be able to eat whatever your family made. So I feel like it definitely saves you time and money. But of course you don't get the college experience, which I think is a once in a lifetime experience. I mean, how often do you get to go to class and then just hang out with friends? And this is freshman year shit. Don't be doing this sophomore, junior, senior. But you go to class, you just hang out with your friends in someone's room, then someone else is like, yo, let's go hang out in this room, and you get to just chill all day. I mean, you don't really get that when living at home. You gotta go to school, go to your classes. You might need to take the bus or the train to school, which sounds just brutal. I never went through it, but it sounds absolutely terrible. If you stay out too late, your parents may be calling you like, yo, you gotta come back home, curfew, 8 o'clock curfew, and you're like 19, 20, and you don't want to deal with the curfew anymore. But you get to save money, so that is definitely a big pro of living at home. The second pro of living at home is there's definitely limited distractions. Now, if you live in a household that's very distracting, you got like 30 siblings and 2 bedrooms, it might be more distracting to stay at home and everyone's really hectic and everyone's loud. It's definitely going to be a huge distraction. But I feel like for the majority of people, you're going to be away from the, yo, let's go hang out right now. Let's go hang out with this person. Let's go out tonight. Yo, let's stay up late today. Let's play video games. Come through to my room. We're all going to hang out and play video games. Or we're all going to go out tonight, and then you end up waking up late for class the next day. Or you end up not doing your homework. You end up skipping the gym. All these things can happen when you're in a college campus if you're not responsible with your time. However, if you live at home, it's pretty much going to class, maybe studying with some friends after, getting some food to eat, and then you come back home, because there's no room for you to hang out at. There's no college campus for you to hang out at. This is based on my experience, because I live somewhere where most people who would commute would go to the city. Their school would be in the city, so there wouldn't be really that college campus atmosphere, that college vibe. So it would be pretty much going to class, coming back, studying. It's way easier to have less distractions and potentially graduate earlier, where when you're in a campus vibe, y'all know the campus kind of environment type of colleges, where there's campus culture and there's like things to do and places to hang out at, and everyone goes out on these days, and there's like frats and sororities and all this shit. All of that can be very, very distracting. It can take you away from the main purpose of college. It's an investment into your education, investment into a degree that is going to allow you to then get a job that is going to pay you a lot versus someone who didn't go to college. But I'm not going to get too much into that. But anyways, once you live at home, you have way less distractions. Now, for many people, this could be a bad thing because it can be extremely boring. I'm not gonna lie, I could not imagine going to school, to college on the train, taking a bus, then hopping on the train, then get into school, like a 1.5 hour commute, and then after class you gotta take the commute all the way back. Versus if you live on campus, you can literally wake up. I would wake up sometimes freshman year, remember, freshman year I would wake up sometimes 10 to 15 minutes before class, be like this, wash my face, brush my teeth, throw on whatever clothes, some like Crocs or whatever, and walk to class. And I'm in class and I get it done, and then I come back and like take a nap because I was stayed up like late last night. You get to do all these things that I guess are fun, but of course if you don't know how to control your time, they do end up being distractions. But like I said, I would not have wished it any other way. I'm not regretful of living on campus. I did graduate with some debt that I'm gonna have to pay, but you know, I'm gonna grind and pay it off. I did go to a state school, so that did help out with tuition and dormant expense. It wasn't as expensive as going to a private school, which is most likely $80,000-$70,000 a year. Dormant is probably like $30K, especially if it's a private university in the city. That's a ton of money. But anyways, guys, the decision is yours based on these pros and of living on campus and pros of living back at home. I want you to really think about this decision, evaluate it, because it is the next 4 years of your life and beyond. Because if you graduate with a ton of loans, wait, let me get this out the way first. If you are going to a private university, I recommend just staying at home. If you don't have enough scholarship and financial aid to cover most of the costs, I recommend staying at home and just sacrificing those 3 years, because the amount of debt you're gonna have when you graduate is gonna be absolutely ridiculous. But the decision is yours at the end of the day. Evaluate everything that I just said. It is going to affect you both for the next 4 years and the years beyond that as you do pay back that debt. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, drop any questions you have down below. I am a college veteran. I graduated a year ago and I'm back in college for my master's, so I know all about it. Hopefully I graduate next year and I never look back. But anyways, thanks you guys for watching. Subscribe, like, and I'll see you in the next one.